Finally, the Prime Minister has addressed the nation. He said he knew that everyone had suffering, but he didn't give any concrete action to reduce the suffering. Why? There are so many examples. For example, if you will take the labor class, they have been struggling for the last 1 month without even having money to pay their rent. Most of the labor class migrated from different villages. They have been struggling because they didn't have enough money to eat. They didn't have money to send their hometown. They didn't have money to spend for their own day-to-day expenditure. Government says that we are giving free ration. But are they giving any money for the rent? Most probably not. Secondly, the poor people and the labor class already have some savings. That old money has been depleted because of this clampdown. Third, the girls who is going to be married in a labor class family in the next winter will not be able to get married. The marriage will get delayed. And if poor man children's daughters marriages get delayed, then most probably it may not even have happened. Why? Because the old money they have saved is already depleted. The money they have saved for their daughter's wedding is already being spent because they didn't have any job or any labor or any vacancy or any day-to-day income to meet their expenditure, to keep their savings intact, and they could give some dowry to their daughters, meet their expenditure of her wedding, and they could have got them married on time and send them. But this winter, number of weddings of poor people and labor class will be much lesser because all money they have saved for their daughters already been spent because of clampdown. So government has to set up a fund which would give free money to these girls for their wedding, unless they will sit at home and they will grow old and no one will marry them. Their life will be ruined because of a foolish decision of a foolish government. And the decision taken by this government is giving so many excuses that they have done it for the people. But how many people have been saved? No people have been saved. They could have done it by being location-based clampdown. Where there is an infection, that area should have been surrounded, sealed, and given them food, money, rent, medicine, and kept them under observation until the problem is solved. Instead, government has clamped down the whole country and suffered everyone in the nation. Now, the economy of the nation is going to be suffered. The farmers are going to suffer. Many farmers' children, wedding of the girls, it depends on the harvest of this year. The whole year's harvest has been ruined, and they have got rot, they have spoiled, and they have been thrown away mostly, except paddy and wheat may be able to preserved. But what about the vegetables? What about the perishable fruits? What about the other products? What about even there's a broiler chicken? And all these have been in the farm and getting ruined. And those who have invested money, they keep on increasing the price of the product, and even a small quantity of the fruits and vegetables are now the price of the gold. This is because the wrong decision has been taken by our government, which is not rational, not thoughtful, and not logical. The next budget, government is going to compensate all this. The suffering is at present going on, and the next suffering is coming with the budget government is going to launch. This budget will extract whatever the loss is taken by the government, and because this government employees get a salary, whether they work, whether they sit at home, their salary is intact. The problem is only for the labor class and the farmers. These are the people who depend on the nature and the kindness of other people, and their savings already gone, and their daughters are going to suffer. At least thousands of girls this time will suffer because their marriage will be postponed to the next year, and they will grow 1 year more old, and they will not have any demand in the market, because poor girls should get married on time, otherwise their demand will go down, because their parents don't have money to compensate it with a huge dowry. So next winter is going to be affected by the wedding related job as well. The wedding related job means the band, the flowers, the pandal, and their decorators, even the other cloth, the wedding garments, all the manufacturing sector is also going to be suffered huge in the next November onwards. November, December, January, February, the 4 months are the wedding time in Indian, especially in the North Indian region. So this is the next suffering going to happen. Once the government will remove the clampdown, no Indian citizen and labor class or farmers should believe that your suffering is over. No, your suffering is going to be 10 times more. Only you have to wait and watch. Mostly the poor girls who is ready for the wedding of this year is going to suffer maximum, and their parents is going to sit and cry, and overall they are going to create a lot of problems. They are going to face problem, they are going to suffer, they are going to sit at home, many of them won't get married, they have a lot of problems. And the farmers' daughters, at the same time laborers' daughters, are the people who is going to suffer maximum. The government has used this coronavirus issue for the political escape from the price rise and low growth of economy and the political crisis created by CAA riot. All these they want to get out. So corona has become a friend of the present government, and it has saved as if the corona was sent by the God. This is another escape route for the government to keep on extending, so that people will not go to the riot. People will not, the politicians, the opposition will not raise the issue of price rise and the low growth of economy. Our infrastructure system is going to suffer now because the economy didn't grow for some time. And public distribution system has a lot of reserve now, because people didn't have money and they couldn't procure the ration. So that money that will go to black market very soon. The small enterprises like making pickle and creating small products in the village and cottage industries are already shut down, and there is no hope that they will reopen again, because their EMI is already in debt, their electricity bill is in due, their rent is in due, and these industries didn't have any income for the last so many months, and this is going to be a big problem for everyone. So what is going to happen is that those who have been working in this industry is again going to be unemployed for the next 1 or 2 years. They won't be able to find a job, they won't be able to find any income, alternative income, and finally the suffering is going to spread more dangerous than it had been for the last 40 days. Then small scale industries will have more suffering, because their product will not be able to market for at least for the next 12 months. These 12 months they have to find money for their survival if they want to continue. That much money no bank is going to give them as a loan or another, because they already have enough loans, and they refused, they couldn't pay their loan EMI. So the banks are going to be conservative and prudent, because they don't want to jump into another NPA. Most of the banks have been merged, and now big 4 banks are coming up. So all these are going to affect the entire economic system, especially the rural economy is going to suffer a lot, and the villages are going to suffer so much, and this can lead to more of a radicalism and terrorism in the village and located areas. So the law and order problem will be another excuse for the government to arrest more people, keep them in the custody and torture them. So this problem is again a national issue we have to discuss. Coronavirus is not the only one has come in this world. There are numerous illnesses spread like this. Secondly, most of this epidemic has been spread from the African countries earlier. Everyone believed that this has come from the African country, because Africans are more close to the animals. There are a lot of animals in their jungle. In the other places, most of the animals have been killed, but in Africa still animals exist. So there are animals which is very close to human beings. So that is like monkeys, like bats. They can easily spread the diseases because they live very close to the human life or human nature. Most probably their DNA must be having some close relationship. So the virus or the any other infection, rodents, if they survive in the body of bats and the monkeys, may be able to survive even the human body. That may be the reason. Third is that the people who have already recovered across the world should be donated. Otherwise, we have to extract, we have at their will, 1 bottle blood from them, and that blood has to be used to develop the serum. That serum can be used to treat the other new cases are coming up, because their blood is already got immunity. That immunity is one of the best serum we can use for the prevention and spreading of this disease, the next stage. So this is the entire world community has to be together and extract only 1 bottle blood from them and give them in return 1 other bottle blood. So this will be a barter. At the same time, they are becoming the help. They become the more helpful than the health workers who are sacrificed, because now they are become the donors of the medicine for treatment of the COVID virus. So this can be tested very easily and very faster, and it can be developed much easier and economically. According to the report of a different reputed economic analysis and organizations which observe the international economy, says that 30 million Indians are going to slip into the poverty again for the next 3 years. So India will have above 1 billion people who live under poverty line, and it is going to be a big crisis for the. In such a crisis will take place, then there is two possibilities. First of all, the rural girls who are living under poverty line will face a problem of their wedding, because the wedding is not taking place without any money in the village, because the village is a very dowry sensitive place, and the poor villagers are saving a small money and they keep them for their daughter's marriage. What will happen now is that the whole money they have earned is already been spent. In such cases, they will have only one option. They have to allow their daughters to wait even in the village. So overall, out of 100 million people, the sufferings will be much more, and that suffering, the people who have taken decision of clamp down will not affect. They are bureaucrats, their daughters will get a husband. The ministers and the politicians will get their daughter's husband. Only those who will suffer is the poor labor class, the poor people who live in the village, and the poor farmers who is surviving on a small meager income and surviving on the small land which give them a lifetime support. So the government has to come out with a concrete step to transferring money. So again, you will ask a question. Even if they transfer money, if there is no goods in the market, then what money will do? Money cannot do anything. So this is another crisis, and everyone should be aware that this crisis is not going to end overnight. This will take at least 15 months to get some relief, because unless and until the rural economy started consumption, the economy will not grow in India, because Indian economy is an internal consumption economy, and export is already under crisis. No countries are importing that much product. Instead, they are depending on self-production, self-consumption. In that case, Indian economy is going to face a big crisis unless until the consumption of the labor class and the poor people increased drastically. Now, the Jamia and the other Islamic institutions are playing in the hands of the politicians and the opposition parties for their political mileage. It has to be ended, because the minority community, especially the Muslims, have become a weapon or a kind of stick in the hands of the opposition, because the opposition has only one objective: to use this Muslim community, keep them under the fear or a kind of phobia, and use them for the political mileage. It is to save the family politics, because this minority vote bank is responsible for the last 70 years of India's family politics. Now family politics has become a norm in Indian continent. Everyone is belong to a family, political family. At the same time, Indian business system has to change. Now Indian business empire is belong to 5 to 6 families: Ambani's, Godrej, Tata's, and others. TV channels are belong to the political class and their family members, and this license has been taken when their political class was in power. So all these has to be distributed among the public. The time has come. The Indian concentration of Indian economy into 5 to 6 family has to be ended. Secondly, the family politics has to be banned, so that the family politicians using the poor Muslim communities for their political mileage will not become a tradition in our country. Muslims will start getting more and more opportunity to join the job. Now they are unable to join the job because their people are afraid of recruiting them. Number 3, the conservative Islamic community is forcing the Muslim girls to wear burqas and veils, and this is keeping them away from applying for a job, though they are not getting adequate number of jobs. Muslim girls are able to study only in some universities like Muslim universities, and Islamic community is having not that much employment opportunities. So where they will go? So if they want to bring them into the mainstream, they have to take initiative. First of all, the family politics has to be banned. Secondly, the concentration of Indian business empire in the 4 to 5 families has to be immediately restricted, and the economy has to be redistributed in a more decentralized way. And with this, we are ending this week's IVTNN's Good Morning World. Thank you for watching IVTNN's Good Morning World.